Indiana News Desk is made possible in part by Smithville Fiber Internet, streaming TV, home security and automation in Southern Indiana. More information at smithville.com. Maller Grodner Attorneys, providing legal services to clients and the community. Understanding, expertise, results. Bloomington and Indianapolis. LawMG.com. IU Alumni Association, connecting IU's network of alumni and sharing the Indiana spirit through scholarships, advocacy, and volunteerism. Alumni.iu.edu. IU Center for Rural Engagement, extending IU Bloomington resources to improve Hoosier lives in partnership with communities and organizations. Rural.indiana.edu. And by WTIU members. Thank you.
Coming up on Indiana News Desk. The GOP-led General Assembly meets in special session next week to consider restricting abortion in the state.
Just watch when people get a hold of this piece of legislation and find out that we have an outright ban on abortion in Indiana.
Republicans are promising money to support adoption and child care. Plans are in the works on the Mid-States Corridor, a highway that will connect I-69 to I-64 through Du Bois and Martin counties.
If we don't try to improve the infrastructure in southern Indiana, we're just going to be left by the wayside.
A final route has not been determined, so construction is still years away. And we visit Bean Blossom Bottoms Nature Preserve, where researchers study the area's flora and fauna. We'll have these stories, plus the latest news from across the state, right now on Indiana News Desk. Welcome to Indiana News Desk. I'm Perry Metz, in for the vacationing Joe Wren. Republican state legislators want to ban abortion in Indiana with limited exceptions in cases of rape and incest and when the life of the pregnant person is at risk. Indiana Public Broadcasting's Brandon Smith reports on the Senate Republicans' proposed legislation.
Senate GOP leader Roderick Bray says his caucus's goal is to promote more adoption and less abortion. Senator Sue Glick emphasizes the bill will not affect access to contraception or the morning after pill, also known as Plan B.
This bill does not affect treatment of miscarriages, treatment of ectopic pregnancies. It does not affect in vitro fertilization procedures.
But people in states with bans similar to Indiana's proposal have had trouble accessing life-saving medications and treatments that are sometimes used for abortion. Senate Democratic leader Greg Taylor says this is a step back for Indiana.
Just watch when people get a hold of this piece of legislation and find out that we have an outright ban on abortion in Indiana. It's going to get worse.
The first public hearing on the bill is Monday. For Indiana Public Broadcasting, I'm Brandon Smith at the State House.
Brandon joins us now for more on the GOP's plan for the special session. Brandon, along with the new abortion legislation, the GOP is talking about providing more money for pregnant persons, children, and parents. What are their proposals?
Well, the House and Senate versions differ a little bit, but generally they want to spend anywhere from $50 to $78 million in the short term on a variety of new and existing programs as well as tax exemptions. So it seems like a certainty that the state's adoption tax credit will be increased. Maybe an additional tax exemption for children. We could see more money for nurse-family partnerships. We could see more money for childcare, access to contraception. But Democrats feel like, one, that's not a lot of money, and two, there's a lot being left out, as Senate Minority Leader Greg Taylor said.
Where's support for families in child care? Where's support for families that need assistance just to get by?
These proposals don't go as far as some other states, which are pushing for total bans and even criminalization of abortion. What do you expect the final bill to look like?
It seems likely that it won't get less restrictive, only more restrictive potentially, with fewer exceptions or harsher enforcement of the provisions. But we still got a lot of time left. It's not clear how the House feels about the Senate's bill, so there's a lot still to be worked out.
As you noted before, there is pushback from Democrats and others. What kind of opposition are you expecting?
Quite a bit, understandably. We have already seen letters from faith communities and faith leaders opposing the legislation. We've seen a letter signed by more than 200 businesses who oppose the legislation. Medical organizations have sent their own letter to legislative leaders and the governor outlining what they think legislation should look like. But we're also getting pushback from anti-abortion groups who feel like the bill doesn't go far enough. So right now it's hard to say who's happy with the bill.
Now, at the same time, during this special session, the Assembly will take up legislation on inflation relief. But the GOP isn't in agreement on what to do, are they?
No, the House GOP wants to do roughly what the governor does, which is $225 checks to everyone who filed taxes in Indiana last year. And if you didn't file taxes in Indiana last year, the House GOP plan would allow you to apply to the state for that $225. The Senate doesn't want to spend that money on checks to individuals because as Senate Leader Rod Bray says, he agrees with economists who think that might actually add to inflation.
We're not passing out money to individuals. We are providing them to save some money on their utility bills, which everyone's going to pay.
How long will the special session last, and is there anything else we should watch for?
Well, for sure, we know the schedule for the first week, which is full of committee hearings and floor votes. We don't know what the schedule is for the second week, but it can't go much longer than that. Lawmakers have to be done by the end of the day on August 14th, because that's how long special sessions are only allowed to last 40 days, and the clock officially began running back on July 6th when the special session was supposed to start. Very
good. Thank you, Brandon, for your reporting. We appreciate it. The proposed Mid-States corridor would connect I-64 and I-69, running roughly along the route of State Road 231 through Davies, Martin, and Du Bois counties. Early next year, the Federal Highway Administration will review the environmental impact study and public comments to decide how to continue. Benta Boutier reports.
The need for a corridor has been examined for more than a decade, and previous studies had been done evaluating options. But the most recent study looks like it has momentum behind it, and has Lagodi resident Tina McCullough worried about how it will impact her way of life. She grew up on her family's farm and raised her own children there. She likes the quiet country life they've lived and doesn't think a corridor is needed.
There's nowhere to put more land. And the houses that are taken out, there's not enough housing as there is in this area. And we don't want to live in a city. We want to live in a real community. That's why we've been here all of our lives.
The corridor has multiple years of evaluation before construction could start because of EPA study requirements for major projects.
We used to do it all.
McCullough says her family is in limbo, discouraged from developing the land for another house or business expansion because the corridor could come through.
You can't buy ground here. You can't buy land, Davis County, Martin County, because it's just a premium. People love what they do and where they live.
And getting into Jasper, the corridor is suggested to go by the east side. Alan Hanselman runs the Schnitzelbank restaurant on that side of town, and his family lives out where the corridor could pass through. He says there is need for a corridor and better connectivity in the area.
There's no doubt about it. If you come from Indianapolis, and you'll find out why. It's not easy to tell somebody how to get here. So, but that's why I'm not really against it. Like I said, I'm just against where they're putting it because they're getting too close to this small town feel.
The preferred route could cut through land his family lives on. It's projected to displace roughly 150 homes. On the west side is Jasper Engines. CEO Doug Bobble says with the number of people who commute in every day, the corridor is necessary. He recalls other infrastructure projects that were unpopular in the past. 231 goes right by his plant and cut through his property when it was built. He says it was the best thing for the community, and it will likely be much the same for the corridor.
I realize it takes land in Jasper. When they expanded 231 south of Jasper, it split up our property that our plant's located on. But it was safety and it was progress.
Bobble doesn't discount the corridor will hurt people's livelihoods and says that should be taken seriously, but he sees it as a long-term investment.
If you're not growing, you're dying. And if we don't try to improve the infrastructure in southern Indiana, we're just going to be left by the wayside.
Studies for the corridor project are enabled by a partnership through INDOT and the Mid-States Corridor RDA. It's a funding method created by 2017 legislation so local governments can create funds for transit projects and receive contributions from private stakeholders while partnering with INDOT for management. Mark Schroeder says the RDA doesn't control what route gets selected and is only there to advocate for connectivity in the region and be a fiscal agent. He says it's INDOT's responsibility to manage the project's logistics. The Tier 1 impact study done was contracted to the Lockmuir Group for more than $6 million.
I think the citizens who are here will immediately benefit from that connectivity in terms of their ability to travel for employment and travel for entertainment and travel for other things. That improved travel time does matter.
Mid-States RDA committed $7 million total for the Tier 1 study. Schroeder says about 50% of that came from local government and the other half from private industry. INDOT added the corridor project to the State Transportation Improvement Plan, which enables federal fund contribution later on. But McCullough sees all this as an unnecessary hardship for her family that will hurt the area. She hopes the plan for the corridor doesn't go through.
Our entire family is just in turmoil, as is everyone that's affected by this. No one can rest because we don't know what's going to happen with our homes and our land.
For Indiana News Desk, I'm Benta Boutier.
The route was identified as the lowest in environmental impact and cheapest to build, according to the draft environmental impact statement. Bloomington is moving forward in its efforts to expand City Hall by 62,000 square feet. The new space is being vetted as the future home of both police and fire department administrative offices. Holden Absher has the story.
The Bloomington Redevelopment Commission this week approved the city's plan to purchase Cook Financial Corporation's portion of the Showers building for $9.25 million. That would give the city almost 3 times its current space in the building.
We don't expect to use all of that space. We do know that the current police station is undersized. They are busting at the seams.
The Bloomington Fire Department administration has been working out of a temporary location since Station 1 flooded last summer.
It's not a fire station. It's not the engines and all running out of here, but it's all the administrators for fire could join as well. And that would really be helpful to have all of that public safety in one space.
The RDC's approval of the purchase agreement allows the city to begin its 60-day due diligence inspection on the property. During this time, consultants will assess the building for future renovations and review current tenant leases. Hamilton says that the main source of funding for the project will be the recent local income tax hike. For Indiana News Desk, I'm Holden Absher.
City Council still must approve the purchase because it is over $5 million. The city hopes to close on the property by January 31st, 2023. The Johnson's Creamery apartment proposal is still up in the air after Bloomington City Council voted Wednesday to delay the project indefinitely. Plan Commission approved the design in October 2021, but it is contingent upon council vacating a public alley. In return, city administration wants the property owner to invest $200,000 in public art. Instead, Peerless Development is proposing to relocate the alley directly south.
Does that have to be where the public art is in the city of Bloomington? Is that the only space we have available? We have the smokestack, yes. We can put a plaque there, but do we have to have a $200,000 public art investment there?
Council voted to send the issue back to the Plan Commission for further discussion. Any changes made to the alley still will need to be approved by Council. State and local officials gathered at Purdue University Wednesday to announce plans for a $1.8 billion semiconductor plant in West Lafayette. Ben Thorpe has this report.
Semiconductor chips are used in numerous electronic devices, including cell phones, TVs, and even cars. Soon, they could be built in Indiana. SkyWater Technology, a Minnesota-based semiconductor manufacturer, is expected to bring some 750 high-paying jobs to the region when operations begin. SkyWater CEO Thomas Sonderman says funding for the project will come in part from federal legislation currently being debated that is aimed at building more semiconductor facilities in the U.S. He says even if legislation fails to pass in Congress, it won't be a deal breaker.
We are committing to bring the weight of our innovation and determination together to achieve something extraordinary.
The U.S. relies heavily on foreign semiconductor chip manufacturers, something which has led to supply chain issues. Chip manufacturers have urged Congress to spend billions of dollars to bring semiconductor facilities to the U.S. The bill is currently expected to get a vote in the U.S. Senate sometime in the next 2 weeks. The plant will be built in Purdue's Discovery Park District. Governor Eric Holcomb says the state and university are committed partners in making the semiconductor facility successful.
Today truly sets in motion that here in Indiana, we're not predicting the future, we're defining it.
For Indiana News Desk, I'm Ben Thorpe.
SkyWater executives say the facility could take 3 years to come online. Coming up next on Indiana News Desk. More than 70 researchers gathered at the Bean Blossom Bottoms Nature Preserve to catalog the area's species. And we visit with a woman traveling the country to learn about the impacts of inflation on van life. These stories and more right here on Indiana News Desk.
Public media's role now is more than ever to get the facts out, to be as transparent as possible, and to tell the truth as we know it.
There's a lot of information out there, and it's really hard to know what you can believe, which is why I think people turn to us again and again.
It's public media's role to try to help educate and enlighten.
PBS continues to be one of the most trusted institutions in the country.
We really do go out and meet the moment as it's happening.
We are there at the front lines asking tough questions and getting important and robust answers.
We're playing a major role in combating lies, fake news.
As journalists, we are trying to bring the most fair coverage that we possibly can.
It's about digging deeper and talking to the powerful and especially to the powerless.
Public media is the place where you cut through all the noise.
We move forward by staying true to our values.
And on PBS, news is human.
Welcome back to Indiana News Desk. An Indiana University survey suggests that rural Hoosiers aren't as skeptical about climate change as people might think. And as Rebecca Thiel reports, if the U.S. wants to curb greenhouse gas emissions, rural residents will have to be part of the conversation.
Rural Hoosiers interviewed for the report said they're concerned climate change could be causing health problems, as well as affecting natural areas and their families' future. But they're also worried about how climate solutions could affect their lives and communities. Will cattle farmers have to stop raising cows to reduce methane? Trucks are a big part of rural culture. Will rural Hoosiers be able to afford electric ones? Matt Hauser co-authored the report and now works for the Nature Conservancy and the University of Maryland Center for Environmental Science.
Whenever we're trying to make change in communities, we need to find ways to align with those that enable people to live out their values while also taking action on climate change.
More than 80% of rural Hoosiers surveyed said they think climate change is happening to some degree, only slightly less than Indiana's urban, suburban, and small-town residents.
Accepting the reality of climate change and what it would take to address climate change really invalidates a lot of aspects of rural life.
For Indiana Public Broadcasting, I'm Rebecca Thiel.
A 24-hour sampling effort at Monroe County's Bean Blossom Bottoms Nature Preserve last month is yielding valuable information about the preserve. Sarah Vaughn has this story.
Oxynellids, got a whirligig beetle.
Yeah, we got whirligig beetles.
In June, BioBlitz at the Bean Blossom Bottoms Nature Preserve gave Purdue University entomology graduate students, Charla Raplogel and Amanda Smith, a lot to get excited about.
Tiger beetle, so Cicindela sexguttata.
For example, this beautiful blue-green tiger beetle perched on Charla's fingertip. It's an insect the women describe as a pretty fierce predator. The students were among more than 70 researchers from multiple universities, the Indiana Department of Natural Resources, and the U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service, who conducted the 24-hour sampling effort across the preserve's 700-plus acres. Hoosier Mushroom Society President Steve Russell was also part of the BioBlitz, scouring the forest for fungi.
We do have somewhat of an understanding of certain species that are rare or endangered, but in Indiana, we don't have a good enough baseline knowledge of what exists in our state.
The BioBlitz provided a snapshot of the wetland's biodiversity, giving researchers and land managers a baseline on which to build a better understanding of the plants and animals that live there. When the Blitz started, Sycamore Land Trust land manager Chris Fox was eager to get a broader view of what species called the nature preserve home, because it informs his land management decisions.
A species that I've been really interested in lately and learned more about is the Kirtland snake, which is a state endangered snake, and it's threatened or endangered in pretty much every state that it occurs, and it relies on habitat like we have here.
The Land Trust describes the Kirtland's snake as a reclusive and nocturnal species that spends most of its time underground. Fox says they were surprised to find one inside a trap set in a foot of water, an unusual place for a snake believed to prefer moist open meadows. Now they know the Kirtland snake is there, Fox says some areas that were opened up by a tornado a few years back might now be kept open. The preserve is home to more than one threatened or endangered species, for example, the Indiana bat and the American bittern. Fox says the BioBlitz data is especially important in a time when the planet is warming and many species could be forced to move their territories.
If things change, it may be hard for them to move. Like the Kirtland snake doesn't have a big range, and it's not very mobile. It's not like a bird. So if you lose habitat due to habitat loss, or if changing climate where wetlands dry up or become more flooded that they can survive, then they may have limited places to live.
Another example is the recently discovered cypress firefly. The species was discovered in 2017 and first documented at the preserve in 2019. It's only been seen in 3 other states, and scientists want to learn more about its habits. Fox calls the firefly intriguing. Bean blossom bottoms is the farthest north the species has been seen, and it's living in a preserve that doesn't have cypress trees and historically never did, according to Fox. That's important information surveys like the BioBlitz help document.
They got to the point where the species was on the brink and they needed sites further north, and knowing more about what's going on at bean blossom could be really critical to its survival.
Fox predicts it could take a year for the full results to come out of the Bean Blossom Bottoms BioBlitz. So far, researchers have identified 300 plant species, including a colorful, low-growing zigzag iris, not previously identified at the preserve, plus about 20 snake species and more than 50 bird species, a good number, Fox says, given the count was taken post-migration. The insect tally, though, is still to come. For Indiana News Desk, I'm Sarah Vaughn.
Inflation is hurting Hoosiers everywhere, from the grocery store to the gas pump. But what if your car is your home? Mitch Legan has more on how inflation is affecting van life.
Kristen Holden has spent the last 3 years traveling the country in her Ford camper van. But with gas prices the way they are, she's had to hit the brakes a bit.
This year I've moved really slowly. A lot of that has to do with the gas prices.
Americans are paying more at the pump than they have in years. Prices have dropped since hitting a national record average of $5 in June, but Holden spent a little more time at home in Indiana.
My budget is like to the penny every month, and I actually budget like 12 months in advance. So I've had to readjust a lot of things.
Holden is a full-time content creator. She has brand deals to feature products in the social media content that she produces about van life. The trend started in the early 2010s when people began turning their vans into homes on wheels.
This kind of pops up, and then I can cook here. And then I have a full oven. When it's not in use, it is storage. So we got to use all the space that we have.
Caught a vibe. Baby, are you coming for the ride?
Holden bought her van in 2019, right before the trend really took off. While other people were stuck at home during the pandemic, she was able to travel the country. Gas was cheap and the roads were clear. When prices started really rising early this year, she hunkered down in Florida. She says it served a dual purpose. She needed to take a break from the road, and there are worse places to spend a couple months.
Parked my van in a friend's driveway and just kind of explored the area. I basically became a resident of St. Pete, it felt like.
From there, she started heading back to Indiana. The van has allowed her to avoid price hikes on utilities, but gas is essentially her rent.
Normally when I'd come back into the Midwest, it was almost like a breath of fresh air when it came to gas prices, because it would cost me about $65, maybe $70 to fill up my van. Now we're at $120 to fill it up, so almost double.
And her fridge might be smaller, but that doesn't mean going to the grocery store is cheap.
If I have a can of beans, okay, we're gonna make some type of bean bowl or something, like we're gonna make it work.
Nationwide gas prices hit a 2-month low earlier this week. Granted, that's still about $4.50, but that won't stop Holden from heading out to the East Coast for the first time. After all, for her, gas prices are just part of the job. For Indiana News Desk, I'm Mitch Legan.
That's the end of this program, but our work continues online as we cover the news throughout the week at WTIUnews.org. Have a great weekend.
Indiana News Desk is made possible in part by Smithville Fiber Internet, streaming TV, home security and automation in Southern Indiana. More information at smithville.com. Maller Grodner Attorneys, providing legal services to clients and the community. Understanding, expertise, results. Bloomington and Indianapolis. LawMG.com. IU Alumni Association, connecting IU's network of alumni and sharing the Indiana spirit through scholarships, advocacy, and volunteerism. Alumni.iu.edu. IU Center for Rural Engagement, extending IU Bloomington resources to improve Hoosier lives in partnership with communities and organizations. Rural.indiana.edu. And by WTIU members. Thank you.